like I just don't appreciate it because I don't like things.
Or stuff.
Speaking of a series of letdowns.
Oh. Alright, welcome to the Good Bad Movie Showdown, where we compete to find the best bad movie.
In each episode, we have a theme. So given the theme detective, let's see what Beardo and Tori have dug up. And Tori, we'll start with you.
All right, so I think I've got a couple good contenders this week. So the first movie is Rotor, also known as Blue Steel for reasons.
Oh.
Yeah, the title here is Judge, Jury, and Executioner.
Is it like a Judge Dredd knockoff or something?
It's sort of like a combination of like Judge Dredd and RoboCop and bad filmmaking.
So is this before or after Zoolander, and then they had to change it because of the Blue Steel thing?
What would you say your trademark is, if you have one?
Well, I guess the look I'm best known for is Blue Steel.
What's that look like?
Because there's also a Jamie Lee Curtis police drama called Blue Steel.
What was that Shaq movie called?
Just
Shazam.
Steel.
Just Steel Shazam. The good one.
You can't contain this! I am Kazam!
Well, I'm really happy for you.
So Rotor, you might ask, what does that stand for? Robotic Officer Tactical Operation Research, which
Sure.
Sounds forced.
clearly they're like, let's make a movie called Rotor.
Yeah.
It came out in the year of 1987, which is also the year that Appetite for Destruction came out, one of my favorite albums. Some of Cullen Blaine's other works, if because you probably want to know what else has he done.
Oh, yeah.
He directed 2 episodes of Garfield and Friends. You also may be shocked to know that Cullen Blaine was credited for this original story idea for this movie.
So Cullen Blaine is the writer and director.
Yep. The main actor is Richard Gesswein, who plays Captain Barrett Cold Iron. He's both a scientist, a police captain, a rancher, and also a rogue rotor detectivator.
Did you say detectivator?
Yeah. He doesn't just
Is
detect.
that your word or is that their word?
No, that's my word.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm going to give you credit. This movie
Yeah.
doesn't get credit for detectivator.
So basically, you know what happens. They make a rotor. The rotor goes bad. They got to stop Rotor. So Letterboxd gave it a pretty flattering 2.1 out of 5 with 752 ratings. The IMDb gave it a 2.7 out of 10 with 2606. To top it all off, the last final thing, some trivia here, which will tie it back to Bud Larson, who is the screenplay writer. He disowned the film after its release.
So many red flags.
Yeah.
I love it.
He blamed the director Cullen Blaine and Richard Gesswein, the star, for rewriting his original screenplay, eliminating most of the humor, and inserting several extraneous scenes in order to replace stuff that would be too expensive to film. The screenplay writer said, "No thanks."
All right.
Wow.
That movie's been on my wish list for a bit.
Yes. Same here.
So that's your first pick.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
hear yours.
I'm just going to preface. I love detective fiction. I always have. And I gave a lot of thought into my picks, and it was hard. It was agonizing. I wanted to have what I think of the quintessential detective character, the hard-boiled private eye.
All right.
And that is why I chose Ryder P.I. This is a comedy. For our purposes, comedies may not always serve best. This is an ensemble picture. Basically, it was a lot of stand-up comedians from New York that got together to make a self-promotional video to kind of highlight their talents. It was made in 1986. I'll start with that. And it stars Dave Hawthorne, whose other claim to fame is from the Jack Nicholson film As Good As It Gets.
No offense, but a moron pushing the last legal drug.
And then also starring Bob Nelson, whose other claim to fame is in one of my absolute favorite movies, Brain Donors. He plays Jacques in Brain Donors, which is a love letter to the Marx Brothers.
That's great for tomorrow, but aren't you a little overdressed for today?
Oh, no.
I'm very impressed.
I don't have any luggage.
Bob Nelson was a prop comic. I think he's hilarious.
Well, so far, all of these are really big name comics that I think all of us know.
Yeah.
So I think the promotional video has really worked.
It has.
I get your sarcasm now.
That was
Yeah,
sarcasm.
no, I'm like over here like...
There is one name and one face in this movie you will recognize in his first ever appearance. shock jock Howard Stern.
Oh, nice.
Now, Mr. Stern never talks about this film, but in a rare interview, he did say that it was when he first got an agent. He just assumed that the agent would make good choices. And so when the agent said, hey, I got you a movie part, he didn't even think to ask a question about what it was about, who else was involved.
He didn't take the script home and read through it.
No. Now, I will say that this movie is almost universally hated. When I saw it as a kid, I remember thinking it wasn't that bad, but I hadn't seen a lot of like real detective movies or even real comedies at that point. IMDb aggregates it at a 2.1. However, nearly 50% of all the votes are ones. The one redeeming feature that I don't remember, but it keeps coming up in people's reactions to this movie is, oh yeah, the only good spot isn't even Howard Stern. The good spot is the chimp. Apparently there's a chimp. I love monkeys, chimps, primates. I think they are not like in that way. My love for primates is pure and platonic.
It's gonna be the name of the episode.
Pure and platonic.
There is a review quote on IMDb that sums it all up. I don't recall a movie that I've ever seen that I would say was worse than this. And folks, I've seen The Postman.
But did he read The Postman?
It was a book?
Anyway, let's not go there. So, Ryder P.I. Before I do the real intro, like I've written this, and you don't know about this yet, but my whole algorithm that matches stuff, and that shit popped up. Yes. Yep. It's in a match somewhere to one movie. I'm like, Ryder P.I. And then I'm like, oh, comedy. But, so that's Ryder P.I.
All right.
It is Ryder P.I.
A failed comedy from 1986 with well-known comedic people that went on to super careers that launched them.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out what
all right.
Tori's
so
number 2
this
selection
is from a legendary director, and it is called Killer Workout. The other title for it is Aerobicide, which I think is way better. This also came out in the year 1987, which these are both 1987, and honestly, it's just 1 year off. Yeah. So, and I said legendary director. David A. Pryor. I truly believe he is one of the most epic directors. Other works include Deadly Prey.
There it is.
That's
Deadliest Prey.
Oh.
We saw Deadly Prey, and holy shit, that movie was
a good
awesome.
movie.
David Campbell, who is Detective Lieutenant Morgan.
Aha.
Yeah, so thus the detective comes in, because, now, believe it or not, there are deaths in this movie. So
It's a killer workout.
yeah, it's a killer workout. So a detective has to come in and figure out, why are these people dying? And there's also a private investigator that comes in too to try to figure out why these deaths are happening.
You got double detective.
Yeah.
Double D's.
Double D. This movie has a lot of double D's in it, actually. And the other main character, Ted Pryor. Yeah, his brother. So Ted Pryor you may recognize as the lead from Deadly
Deadliest
Prey.
Prey.
Four against one. You're not walking out of here, Danton.
So 2 years ago, a young woman named Valerie was burned after entering a tanning salon. She got into one of those tanning booths and went up in flames. Now her twin sister Rhonda runs a local gym where all of a sudden people, they be dying. So Letterboxd gives it actually a pretty decent 2.7 out of 994. IMDb gives it a very nice 4.8. So the director, David A. Pryor, found it very hard working with the director of photography because he had no respect at all for me and fought me all the way on every single shot.
So he was a pretty good director.
He was a pretty good director. So I just want to say I love David A. Pryor's works.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Killer workout looks great.
Yes.
For my second pick, I wanted to get something that was not a comedy, and I wanted to get a little bit more esoteric, so I chose 2004's Dead End Road. It is about a guy who leaves clues, a murderer, serial killer, by referencing Edgar Allan Poe. There's actually a little bit of scholarly debate about where do we get our concept of the detective. Most people point to
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Doyle himself admitted that the very first detective character was written by Edgar Allan Poe. The other interesting thing about this is the cast. Playing the killer, we have David Borowitz,
Great. Now we know who the killer is.
Just keep an eye out for David Borowitz, whose only credit that I thought was worth mentioning is a film called Night of the Revenge of the Evil Zombatron Spy Bot.
That sounds good.
I love the title of it.
Yeah.
That is good. Anytime there's two ofs in a title, it's good. Night of the Revenge of
the,
yes.
Yeah. Also starring Anita LaSavella, who you may remember as playing R.O.T.O.R in Earth, the Final Conflict.
R.O.T.O.R?
Because there's apostrophe right in the middle. So
the
you
one
say
letter
the
makes
or.
your neck go.
Yeah.
The-or.
Also starring is Dee Wallace, but you'll recognize her. She's been in a lot of things, but most notably, she was the mom, Mary, in the movie E.T.
You look like a terrorist.
And finally, Spice Williams Crosby, who played Vixis in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
She's the original Spice Girl.
Yes.
So this is Old Spice. Then they have
Yes, this is Old Spice.
All right.
Yep. I did find a quote, one of the Amazon reviews, that sums it up. Cough, cough, choke, choke, arg me buckos. Don't think I can hold my lunch down after viewing this atrocity. So we're in for good stormy weather with Dead End Road.
So we've got Rotor and Killer Workout versus Dead End Road and Ryder P.I.
And now we have to narrow it down to one from each.
One each. Yep. All right, Bill, you go first.
I'm kind of going for Rotor because I'm kind of in the mood for a bad sci-fi, crazy, stupid RoboCop knockoff.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you much because Rotor has been on my Killer Workout also, but I'm going to go with Rotor too because I want to see a robotish type man kill people, probably in deserts or dirt roads.
Whatever cheap scenery they can come up with.
Yep. So my vote is also for Rotor, and it also is on the same disc as Millennium, so that's like a little bit weighted in its favor.
Okay, sure.
Just by proximity.
Well, it is also right next to Killer Workout, so I'm going to give it credit for that too.
It's true.
Being next to Killer Workout is somehow better than being Killer Workout. I love your logic, dude.
All right,
sandwiched between greatness.
Yes.
All right.
So me and Bill have decided.
We've decided that one. All right. So you go ahead and start with those.
I appreciate Edgar Allan Poe, but I'm also like really bored by that. If you would have sold me on this director being notorious for bad movies or the actors and actresses being more associated with that, maybe, but I think I want to see Ryder P.I. So I'm picking Ryder P.I. Bill, what's your pick going to be?
I am interested in seeing Dead End Road at some point, but I'm going to have to go with Ryder P.I. because I'm really in the mood to watch a cheesy 80s comedy. I am definitely going to go with Ryder P.I.
Fair enough.
I'm so excited.
All right.
I'm so excited.
So now we have our two movies, and now we go watch our movies.
We're going to watch them.
All right.
All right.
Worst best movie wins, sir. Censor recall. That's the answer. Censor recall.
Oh, that's a good skill to have.
Wow. Fuck robotics. They've mastered time travel.
Is this supposed to be Eddie Murphy?
I think Eddie Murphy is a black man and that is a puppet.
Although, have you seen Pluto Nash? Because I couldn't tell. It's called a traumatic brain wipe.
So, folks, we jump on some grenades for you. Just want to let you know. And this is one of those instances.
Yes.
There are no winners here tonight.
That's like 2 grenades.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Tori, you chose Rotor.
Mm-hmm.
So, Beardo, why don't you explain the plot of Rotor?
So, the plot of Rotor...
What happened?
What is this actually about? It follows a brilliant robotics engineer / cowboy, well, and a cop. So he's also a cop, and he just really doesn't like people. He's grouchy all the time. He doesn't like anybody except his girlfriend, who has huge shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's not a euphemism for anything.
No,
she has huge shoulders.
Yeah.
Baroni's Investments, Miss Gale, may I help you?
Benny. Hi, you.
Because the pretty girl's shoulders are bigger than the workout girl's
Yeah,
shoulders.
yeah. His name was Barrett Cold Iron.
Cold Iron.
And
the master of talking without moving your mouth.
Yeah.
We can't really understand.
Well, he always moved his bottom lip,
He
but
moved his face moved.
He also didn't talk. Somebody else talked for him.
25 years from now, if you'll come next fall, what you'll see will be the only thing that stands between humanity and itself.
His like whole face doesn't move when he talks.
And he is working on basically a RoboCop, a robotic law enforcement machine.
Well, he can lasso a tree
Yeah.
and blow it up.
Yeah.
In almost the same motion.
Yeah. The movie's a lot deeper than you think it is.
Yeah,
There's a
there are
lot of-
layers to this shit.
It's
Yeah.
like an onion. Got
Like
it.
Yeah.
It's like a rotten
The
onion.
more you peel it back, the more you want to cry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
It's like a dead ogre.
So he gets fired because he uncovers. Oh no, his boss, the commissioner, is trying to rush the prototype out the door because they've been embezzling shamelessly from the funding of the program. So he quits or is fired or whatever. He's off the project.
What's up, sir?
I gotta get out of here. Bugler just jumped down my throat.
Why, sir?
Because he can.
Sir, what are you doing?
I'm giving you the keys.
Keys to what, sir?
The Holy Grail, Houtling.
And he goes and has dinner with his girlfriend, and then they go grocery shopping, and then they're gonna eat again. Even though we know it's only been 2 hours because they have
They show the time.
countdown
They show the time.
every 5 minutes. So
But I mean, they went to lunch. They
and
didn't
then
really say what
within
time it was.
2 hours, I think, if I remember, I think it was like an early lunch. But then like 2 hours later, that she's prepping the meat.
No, he is being romantic by throwing the raw meat on her hand.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yes.
That's true. Yes.
Lady, you got some bargaining position.
I'll marinate the meat and make the salad if you go to the mini mart.
Didn't you just eat?
Yuck.
Right.
They went and had dinner,
And then they went to the grocery store.
and they forgot
dinner.
something.
But in between there, at some point, the janitor somehow triggers the release of Rotor, or the activation of Rotor,
With his comb.
his switchblade comb, and nobody notices that he's gone because this is such a well-oiled
Hold on.
machine. This
Wait,
this
before you go there,
department
though,
that they work for.
there's a janitor
Yes.
that's hitting on a girl so poorly she walks away.
Yes.
His idea of hitting on her
Oh yeah, this is a callback.
Yes.
is how his ancestors murdered people.
Check it out. Well, the warrior, he lays on the ground, and they tie ropes to his arms and his legs. And the other ends of the ropes, they tie to 4 different horses. And they slap the horses on the behind, and they run in 4 different directions. And well, the guy, you know.
It's sickening. That's it.
Yeah, girl.
Basically drawn quarter people.
Yep, that he calls the Blood Eagle.
Yeah.
With
Yes.
the Blood Eagle. And then he puts his 1980s headphones on Rotor.
On the 2 wires sticking up.
Yeah.
Two wires
Rotor.
sticking out from Rotor, and we're thinking like, oh, he's gonna
Yeah.
like Rotor's gonna hear the music and
And
learn
come
or
out
something
rad.
or something neat like that. But no, he pulls out his switchblade to comb his hair and then jams it.
Because like I said, once you go red, you never get out of bed. My tunes. Got to have my tunes.
All of the juice from his batteries got funneled
yeah.
through to to activate Rotor.
But there's no like scene of Rotor waking up or anything.
Oh,
There
there's
was
one.
a
His
brief
hand
of
comes
his
up.
hand coming
His
out,
hand came
and then
up
it was
and
like,
then-
and then his hand opening up a locker.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is what I didn't understand. At one point, they say that the project is like what 10 years away from
Yeah,
from even being ready for a prototype.
Its last program was Prime Directive.
Shut up, Cold Iron.
Prime Directive in 25, 50 years from now.
30 or 50 years away.
And yet, there's a scene of him opening up a locker with his number on it. 222 is his badge number, and there's his uniform. And then he goes into a showroom where the motorcycle is.
It's on full display in the big glass block.
Right. And as you pointed out, it already has stencil on the side. What?
It was judge, and execute.
Best mission statement for an artificial intelligence that you've designed to enforce the law.
Which they later complained that he's judge and executioner. What are we gonna do?
That's how you branded him, numbnuts.
That's what you wrote on his motorcycle.
Right.
Are you sure that's not just the name of his bike?
Judge and execute. Well, that would make sense if he had a sidecar.
I mean, if
then,
his
like,
bike was
the
named
bike could be judge, and then the sidecar could be execute.
If his bike was named Susan, you'd get mad at him for suing everybody.
Sure.
I know that's bad. It's better than the movie.
Yeah, it's true. Much better. I could
that.
deal with 90 minutes of that. More than 90 minutes of that.
He gets on the bike, and then there's this couple that's in a car driving, and they're arguing, and apparently they're speeding, and then the argument escalates for no freaking reason.
You did say he's gonna die because he's a bad dude.
Yeah,
I'm like, no way he's gonna die because this is the 1980s movie.
It's just embarrassing for a guy to have his wife work.
So that guy's gonna die soon, right?
If it was made today.
That's true. He was over the top jerk
Yes.
that had to die.
And then, Rotor pulls him over, and the guy gets out and attempts to bribe him to get out of the ticket, and Rotor shoots him 20 feet away, and shoot him in the head with a Desert Eagle.
Through the money, if
so
I
a
remember
Magnum,
right.
through the money he's holding up to bribe him. Boy still manages to stumble forward enough, cover the distance, and grab the key piece of evidence, Rotor's badge.
$20, but you're gonna give me a ticket. Hey, what are you doing? Hey!
Girl gets away, and she also figures out the Achilles heel of Rotor apparently is car horns.
Which, that's why it was going to take another 25 years to have them ready. Cause
they got to work out that car horn bug.
They could not get that out.
And then
they got skin and musculature and putting on your own clothes
and
opening doors and riding motorcycles.
And recall vision.
Yeah, and the ability to see in the past.
Yes. That's the answer! Sensor recall!
Oh, that's a good skill to have.
Wow! Right.
But they don't have the friggin' horn thing down.
Right, which is...
It's like kryptonite.
I would imagine, okay, I can understand that you wanted to, prototype the robot more and take more time to, okay, we got to do, all the things in reality when people are trying to build a robot. Can he climb stairs? Can he, pass as human?
Yeah, can he walk and somebody kick him and not fall down?
Can he walk through chairs?
Yes. Can he reach inside of a car and grab someone on the passenger seat?
That's hard, man.
He can grab at this height.
Yeah.
He cannot grab
this,
at this.
Can't grab
yeah,
that.
the arm, it just doesn't.
There's no rotation right here.
A few moments later.
Get out of here. Leave me alone.
Where did she?
The horn, so that's two bugs, two major defects. The horn.
Yep. And a radio.
And the radio, later on, a loud radio seems to have the same effect on him as the horn.
We'll classify that as one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And defect number 2.
Reaching. Honk the horn! You know his only weakness.
That reaching inside of things. Chase continues and things happen, and now Rotor seems to be killing anyone, but then he's just killing people, it seems like anyone that gets in his way.
There's the 3 guys
He
that
just
come
beat
in.
the
He
shit
just
out
beat
of them.
and then stood on him. He didn't really beat him up.
I inserted more violence in this film.
Oh
than
my
there was.
god. 3 guys? It's amazing.
Yeah.
The formula is wonderful because it's 3 dudes and it's obviously set up to be like skinny dude, middle dude, and strong fucker.
Skinny dude, karate dude, strong fucker.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't know it's karate dude. You just
I
know
know,
he's like
but that's-
skinny dude, bald guy, and strong fucker.
Yeah.
That's the way it starts out.
I don't think second guy knew he was karate guy until that day either.
Oh yeah! strong guy. He's a
Starts
muscle dude,
stripping down.
but he takes off his suspenders, right?
And if you're about to get into a fight, the first thing you do is take off the one thing that's holding your pants up.
Yes. Yes.
But he's wearing a tank top, and,
And then he
just
just rips that off.
rips it so it breaks at the top.
It had to have been pre-cut because he doesn't really pull very hard.
No.
There's no resistance. He's just like, I'm just waiting for a time to pull this shirt up. Pam. Out come the jubblies.
He's got the breakaway tank top.
But then it just hangs down his pants.
And he didn't even do like the little, thing where you
the
move
chest
the
bounce?
pecs or whatever.
Dancing pecs.
He should have done that.
Like the Indian fight scene movie. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe. Ah, yeah, that's it.
But just like usually Terror, they go like that. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
like Hogan.
But he just like gingerly puts it down. He's like,
But
I
then
need
it
to do
looks-
this later, so I can't tear my
But
shirt.
it ends up looking like he just took off his schmuck top so that he's,
just lays his bib out.
Yep,
and he's good to
exactly.
go.
Doesn't matter because like the next fight scene, which you're expecting to be at least something, is like 2 seconds long.
Yeah.
Right, it was nothing.
It was just a hug,
horrible.
wasn't it? It was just like a hug.
Didn't he just go like
Yeah.
and grab the and then that's the end of it?
Yeah.
That's when the girl runs and hides in the building.
And
thing.
finally calls. Oh yes, hides in a little shack by the gas station.
Which they completely built for the movie because there are not little shacks next to gas
Selling,
pumps.
he was selling like
trapdoors.
A trapdoor into the gas tanks
I don't
below?
know.
I mean,
Psst, hey, come on over here. Yeah, come on. Right down there. Go through that little trap door right there.
Big dicks.
Yep, that's what it is.
They don't mention anything. That's the key feature.
Yeah.
That's the breakthrough, boys and girls.
Maybe in this universe, that's just
Yeah.
Everybody can do that.
Everybody can do
The
that.
scene recoil? I
Yeah.
kept calling it recoil.
It's not recoil.
That's
it's
why I'm just calling it Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall.
Yeah, it passed vision no matter what.
Yeah.
God, that's amazing tech. Like
Yeah.
that
Just
whole
take your
thing-
sunglasses off and you can see what happened in
If
the
these
past.
robots existed, people would chop them up
Let me
just
see if
to
it
have
works.
the past vision.
Yes.
Did it
No,
work?
it doesn't work. No,
Oh, okay.
Not for me anyway.
That's unfortunate.
So the chase continues meaninglessly.
Here's the story. The girl, Sonia Guerin, somehow got in his way. I don't know, ran a stop sign or something. Rotor killed her boyfriend. She ran. The robot is programmed to chase.
Even though he is a cop, Cold Iron doesn't call in reinforcements from any other law enforcement agency. He doesn't call his friends that are cops. He even though.
Do you know why?
No, I don't.
Budget. When they say the
Clearly.
end fight scene is in a remote cabin area, that's budget.
Right. And it wasn't even.
There was not a cabin to be seen.
No.
It's like they pulled over to the side of the road somewhere and
Yeah.
said, I think we could film
can
here for a
film
couple
here.
hours.
Yeah.
There's a lake.
Yeah.
There's
Get
nobody-
a boat. Get a little rowboat. Get a rope, and that's what they did. They finally catch up with him, and he goes toe to toe first with Steel, and she does a pretty good job. She blasts the hell out of him with a shotgun,
And then put the
then
gun
she
down.
threw it at
No,
him.
she didn't. She ran up to him and held it out in front of her.
Oh,
yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
like you do with guns.
Right.
Yeah.
Hurry!
Buy me one more minute.
Like
Yes.
I've gone deer hunting a couple of times, and if you miss with the first shot, you just take your gun and run right at the deer. That's how you do it.
Yep. All right. So eventually, though, and then he gets the idea. Oh, here's the callback. I'm gonna lasso him with dead cord, and
Yeah.
He lassoed the ground and then hoped that the guy stepped in it. Oh no, there's a loop there.
Oh, a Wile E. Coyote style.
Is he gonna step into it?
So he starts lassoing his arms and then he ties
So-
it to the truck for some reason.
It's 2 callbacks in one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
it's
makes
a
it
twofer.
very, very clever.
Yeah.
Yep, it is
Where
a
it goes
blood
back to
eagle
the story. Yep.
and he's
Debt
lassoing with that cord.
My one question is, they show a scene of him being pulled this way
Yeah, where are the rest
and
of the
being
cars?
pulled this way.
Yes.
What is pulling the other direction?
That is a question.
The truck
Yes.
is pulling one direction.
Yeah.
You have technically established a question.
Yep. Thank you. My job is done.
And then he explodes.
Right, and the explosion, because I don't know about det cord, but like if you pull somebody with this way with det cord and then this way with it, the explosion happens right in the middle.
The robot's electric discharge is going to detonate the primer cord. For Christ's sake, get out!
So why is the rest of the primer cord not going?
You know what was frustrating about Rotor is that there actually were quite a few ingredients that were good. But as a whole, this is a movie that is less than the sum of its parts. There's a lot of lines that are actually really funny. And I think a lot of times the people didn't even know that they were funny lines.
You look like you got both eyes coming out of the same hole.
The thing about the 2 eyes out of one hole,
Yeah.
was just a throwaway line that we almost missed during the movie,
Right.
but it's a wonderful line.
Or like 2 skeletons making love in a tin coffin. Like, doesn't make any sense.
You fire me and I'll make more noise than 2 skeletons making love in a tin coffin, brother.
Like, other than like the terrible technobabble, I have a feeling if I went back and read the script, I could be like, there's some of this could have worked. Some of those lines that you can't be terrible and come up with them.
I'd be mad if I was him too.
Well,
if I wrote something and then this is what came of it, I'd be like, either I'm really mad or I'm really kind of ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
And as bad as it was, somehow you managed.
Is that the segue to me?
I think so, yeah.
What do you think this is? Some low-budget sci-fi flick? I mean, what can possibly happen, Willard?
Anyway, talking about pooping in the pool. Talk about this Howard Stern movie.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, Tori, why don't you describe?
Okay, so
that's true.
Next up we
Ryder.
have a movie called Rider P.I. And this was Beardo's pick. The essence of this movie is that it was a bunch of, I suppose, not very well-known comedians, even though on the back I think it says nationally known, New York-based stand-up comedians. This was probably set up to be like, let's we're all funny, we all do really good impressions, let's make a movie, and we'll get all famous. I guess there's a plot in the movie. It starts off with, they're in some place in South America, there's a pile of cocaine, somebody's happy.
Yep.
The cocaine stuff is gone, and like we're like, what? And it's so you're in New York, and you get these 2 guys that are, one's much more inept than the other, but they're both not super inept. And it's
I'll go with that.
Not only did I have to sit in my car all night, but my agency had to stick me with a partner. Epi, the office idiot.
Emo or whatever.
Epi,
Epi.
because I thought they said happy for a while.
Yeah, Epi. Like,
But-
I kept thinking EpiPen.
I mean,
Which this movie really could have used. This big shot of adrenaline right into anything.
Yeah, right. Just give it to
Maybe that's what they were hoping with Epi.
I think they're doing some PI stuff and they're trying to find like a cheating couple or something like that. I'm super confused about it, but they're inept, but they're trying to. God damn it! I didn't understand what was happening in this movie. And there's a lot of comedians that hop out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, so this is probably another comedian trying to have.
There's impersonators for reasons.
Yeah, and it
The
looked.
Rodney Dangerfield impersonator.
Yeah, the guy looked like Sammy Hagar had a love child with David Crosby from Crosby, Stills and Nash, which is that a pretty picture in your mind?
Well, I gather you gentlemen are here for your orientation.
Actually, it looks like Sammy Hagar and David Crosby had a baby. There's a Richard Nixon impersonator.
Yes. Yeah, night class.
Yeah.
For computers. Or
Yeah,
something
I did not cheat or something like that.
Yes.
Like, I don't know why.
It's not nept.
Yes, that is not inept. That is not inept at all.
So for some reason, they're outside.
This movie needs a giant dose of
Neptunus.
A giant jar.
It needed So at one point they were outside a diamond store. I don't know why.
Yeah.
How did they get there?
There was these biker dudes, and these dudes had one lady on a bike and they're harassing her, and we don't ever really know why she's there or being harassed by these dudes. I don't think.
Well, we learn later why.
Yeah, we learn later, but
it's super dumb, but we do learn.
It's super not appropriate for what they are later.
Yeah.
But it's 3 biker dudes assaulting a girl.
Actually tying her to the back seat of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Let me go! Let me go!
Hey, come on! Hey!
Hey, get the hell out of here!
I'm not worried about spoiling it. Those weren't the DEA agents. Those
were the DEA agents.
No, those were the DEA.
Those were the DEA
Yes.
agents.
Yeah.
Yep, they could have showed their badges earlier. But
You didn't want to spoil it, but you did.
So, but anyhow, they fight him, and then this was one of those scenes that actually had some good stuff because
this was probably my favorite scene.
there was a fighting, and someone would get punched and fall down, so it'd be like, now it's 3-on-1.
Fellas, come on! Come on, it's 2 against 2. Still 3 against 2. No, it's not. It's 2 against 2, right, Ryder? Right, Epi. 2 against 1. Now it's 3 against 1.
I love this joke though.
Yeah.
I was very happy with that gag.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, and so they ward them off, and then somehow, isn't that at the same time there was like a thief thing happening?
Yep.
There happened to be they were like behind a diamond store, and the diamond store happened to be robbed at that time.
I wanted action, but this was ridiculous. Just when we were about to save a girl's life, some jerks decide to rob the diamond exchange.
They foiled them with the help of a Dirty Harry analog.
Yes, because one of their comedian friends could do a pretty good Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
impression.
Go ahead, make my day.
We'll put that in quotes.
Pretty good.
Do I do quotes at pretty good or Clint Eastwood? Which one do I do quotes on?
But so then that's where they get the girl.
Best part of the movie, hands down.
Yeah,
is the girl.
Because they have the Clint Eastwood guy, they have the Sammy Hagar does a bunch of different impressions.
Right. Does Gleason?
Yeah, he does the whole Honeymooners thing. He does Rodney Dangerfield.
Well, frankly, Skyler, I don't give a damn.
Look, I have some complaint mail here for you.
I don't get no respect at all.
So then they got this lady, and of course a romance blossoms because why wouldn't it be? And there's a chimpanzee.
Yes. I'm sorry. Did I already say that she's the single best part of the film? Can I take that back?
The monkey.
Yeah,
chimpanzee.
It's the monkey!
Come on, Mom. I don't...
So they rescue the girl, and then there's a budding romance.
Yes. And there's a monkey.
And there's a monkey.
Yep.
Zippy the chimp.
Because she goes into the bathroom, and then there's a monkey in the bathroom. Right. Because that's where the monkey.
That's where I store mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the matter?
There was a great big hairy thing in there, and it pinched me.
That's just my pet gorilla.
You keep him in the bathtub?
Yeah, he likes it in there.
Wait. She didn't go into the bathroom naked that time. She was in the bathroom naked when Epi came over.
Oh, yeah.
You're not the monkey!
If I ever walk in on somebody naked, that's what I'm going to yell, though. Is, you're not the monkey!
Where the hell do we even go from here, though? So
Then they get back on the original case of the cheating Mrs. something.
And that's where they go back
Steen.
to dinner again.
Yes. They had a tip that she was going to go there with another man, but they didn't establish how he got that tip, which makes even less sense when the reveal is she's there with her frickin' husband.
Because it wasn't her.
Because it wasn't her.
Well, you like, oh my God, he's gonna go get a picture of them. Oh my gosh, they're kissing.
Yeah.
Because the girl is excited to be on the case.
Yeah. Right.
And so, and he gets up to go take their picture, and he's like 3 feet away from them.
After a year, he did not know that 1, it was the wrong woman, and 2, it was the wrong woman's husband.
Right.
How bad can you be at
Yeah.
something to fuck it up for a year before you fuck it up real bad?
And who's paying him?
How long? Like,
You mean you've been following the wrong person for over a year?
Boy, you really screwed this one up, Sky.
So he goes back to his boss and he's like, "Boss, I screwed this up."
You're
and
fired.
his boss is one of those stereotypical sergeants that's always pissed off.
It's perfect.
He
Yeah,
looked
it's
like
the guy who
Robert
just-
De Niro to me.
I think that was what his impression was.
Explain. You're very good at that, Ryder. Real good. You couldn't explain your way out of a plastic bag.
He's trying to look like Robert De Niro.
Why does he have a captain if he's a private investigator?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I just want to say, to be fair, I'm terrible at impressions. So even though we're ripping on some of these impressions, they're better than any impression I
Oh,
can do.
I thought the Nixon impression was fine. The Dirty Harry impression was fine.
You were talking directly to that movie.
I was apologizing to it.
I mean, the guy impersonating Howard Stern was
sorry.
amazing.
Yes, that was a very good impression.
Yeah, except for the hair, he was perfect.
So she finds out, and so the DEA are on the job. They thought these guys were bad. They kind of are bad.
They're shitty DEA agents,
but
they're kidnapping a U.S. citizen without identifying themselves.
Yeah.
They're just
No, they were
Living
showing
their-
up. They couldn't identify themselves. They
Right.
said they were trying to.
right. But then the movie would have only been
It's
18
really hard
minutes
to
long,
identify
and that would have
yourself.
been a
I
travesty.
mean, instead they're like, no, it's 3-on-1. They could have just said, we are the DEA.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
we're DEA.
Why would they need to be undercover anyway?
That made no sense. None.
Because
They
there's
wanted to be.
Right. I mean, it's not like they were hiding it from anybody that was around there.
Right.
because-
The Drug Enforcement Agency is in the bathroom!
What are they doing, huh? Taking a sheet?
And then the lead DEA guy was actually probably one of the best actors in the movie.
True.
I will say that too. Like, but
I think he did fine.
Yeah.
I think he did good. I think his whole crew kind of did okay.
The main guy actually did okay.
Yeah.
He didn't do any really bad impressions. It was all his friends that seemed to do
He did that one
There was
Jack
some bad
Nicholson.
writing.
Yeah.
The Jack Nicholson thing was weird.
Do you mean Fred Flintstone?
I see what you did there.
It'd be singing Strangers in Paradise.
That sounded like Fred Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone, yeah.
yeah,
You're making
right,
me
you're
look
right,
like
yeah.
an idiot. When
Nice
it's
pin.
the movie that is bad.
Nice pin. But so it culminates with a shootout, which in the shootout inexplicably has some really impressive guns in it.
Yes.
Like little cases are flying out as they're shooting, and they're
Yeah.
shooting blanks, I assume, because the little
Brass was
Yeah.
flying, and
Yeah.
those muzzle flares looked legit.
Nobody gets shot though, right?
I thought some people. got
There were
shot.
some. Oh yeah, the female South American agent gets shot, doesn't she?
Maybe. Oh yeah. Speaking of, and I think she had some heavy makeup on.
What the hell is Diaz getting here with our coke? Yeah, it's been over an hour. Where is he?
You small-time scum make me sick. You are lucky Diaz is even doing business with you.
I don't think she's Mexican.
No, I don't think she is either.
I think she's
Brown face?
Is that a thing?
And then they had a blackface scene.
What's the word?
Oh my God, it's a blackface
Oh.
scene. Oh my God, please don't have blackface on.
Oh no, they're.
Oh no. They totally do, don't
Oh
they?
no!
Where's the girl?
Who you calling boy?
Say what?
Oh boy.
Oh no.
No, there's some.
Well, all right. So who were they running from?
they were running.
From the drug dealers or
South
from the
America.
DEA agents who they thought were bad?
Oh, it was the DEA agents
Well,
still. It
but
was
then,
the-
it,
yeah,
then
was
they
it?
who
teamed
missed
up.
another gold opportunity to flash a badge
Yeah.
and circumvent.
Yeah.
a
So,
whole
but didn't they
situation.
in the end team up with the DEA?
They did, yes,
In the
because
end.
the DAs finally realized, hey, you know what? We should tell you, we're DEA. You can stop.
I've been trying to tell you.
You two. Put your hands on your head.
Hey, he didn't say Simon Says.
Shut up. Drug Enforcement Agency, special assignment. Operation Snow Goose, you jackass.
What? That's what we've been trying to show you.
We barely have talked about the Howard Stern impersonator.
Yes. and his ridiculous wig.
Which
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's how Howard Stern would like it to be known.
Yeah.
You know what the big news is? The big news is I work at a toilet bowl for a television station.
Which I would actually watch a newscast like that, where they were just like reading, it's like, you believe this shit?
But then he starts taking his
and look
clothes
at
off.
this.
Do I need to wear a shirt when I do the news? I don't think so.
but the whole world is going down a crapper. And I'll tell you why. Some guy today, listen to this. Look what it says here. There was a computer foul-up at the stock market. This guy hears the news and jumps out of his office building. He wasn't injured or anything, but he must have been a big schmuck. Here, look at my breasts.
But Howard Stern actually, I thought, did a pretty good job. Is it because he's super inept or because he's inept in comparison? It's hard to know.
Who is gonna buy? I mean, who's gonna buy that movie?
Howard Stern fanatics.
Cut it out for a second. I have a point to make. I really do. Did you see that last piece of videotape? Here's my point. The reason all those animals escaped from the zoo, it's because of human error. Some guy who's probably in charge of the keys to the zoo is home, whoop, 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 giving it to his wife.
So they have the shootout with the DA.
Yeah. and they win. The good guys win.
Yes.
Which isn't, you know, I mean, that's what you got to do. It seems like it works out with him and the lady.
Right.
From what I can tell.
Except for the the proximity of their hips and their embrace, it seems like it's going to work out. Somebody's strangling
She
a
does
saxophone.
not want to have her hips anywhere near
No.
The only thing I hate worse than sad endings are bad saxophone players.
He had been a writer, right?
He was one of the 4 key, but if you go deeper, almost every comedian in this was given a writing credit, but he's one of the 4 key writers.
But he was way more into the kissing scenes than she was.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, she was.
If you had to be in this movie with him?
Yeah.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
That's quite the dynamic I was suggesting. If you wrote yourself in his part,
okay.
wouldn't you be really into those kissing scenes?
No.
Yes.
4 out of 5 doctors agree that it's better to be thin than fat.
Bullshit!
I like that
Yeah,
one.
that was good.
So there you have them, folks. We have Rider P.I. We have got Rotor. It comes down to this. A vote is now going to happen to which we think is the goodest bad movie. And here's the thing. This is a tricky one because
they both suck.
So bad. It's like 2 people took a dump on you and you're trying to figure out which was the most unpleasant experience. It's really hard to know.
I don't think it's that hard to know. I don't think it's that hard to know. I am solid poop. One of these shits is definitely not diarrhea. And one of these shits I could take and I'd say, hey, you should come and see this. The other one I'd really try to flush and hide. Are you feeling me, Bill?
Yeah, I maybe? I don't know.
You're crying! He's actually crying! I saw a teardrop hit the table!
There was more than one teardrop.
We broke him! We broke him! We broke Tori!
I mean, I think I know which one I'm going to vote for, but it's not a huge margin.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm just going to say Rotor wins for me for sure. I would watch that again. I really enjoyed just
I wouldn't go that far.
How inept it was.
It was very inept.
It was like I would watch this with people and point things out to them. This one I can't. I'd just be like, I'm sorry. This one I'd be like, no, you gotta see this.
Yeah. There were like
You gotta see this.
There were like 12 seconds in this one that I'm like, that was clever.
There's some gags in this, and I was vocal about the ones that I really liked.
The Groucho mask walk by scene stands out.
Well, learning about computers from a registered lunatic wasn't my idea of detective work. But what was I to do? I guess I was just itching for some real action.
I like that gag. I really
That was
like
kind
that
of funny.
one. This one screams way more to me.
I think this one had kind of the more of the sci-fi, stupid techno babble, crap, action, fighting, all of that. That gave it a little bit of a leg up over just poorly done bad jokes.
This had technobabble in it. Remember the Muppet-based AI?
That's true.
Tie into the police missing persons computer. We want to know the present whereabouts of... Who are you looking for?
Mason, Valerie Mason.
He wants to find... Be cool, man. I heard the dude. Let me see what I can find. Hold on a second. You wait right there.
It's like the fucking puppeteer forgot which hand the mouth was on. Because he keeps moving the hand in like a mouth, very mouth-like
Might be
manner.
part of the joke. Just put both hands up there.
And just...
But why is the computer a puppet? Why was the AI a Muppet? I don't
know. I literally think because they had another comic who was like, what's your act?
Yeah.
I got this fucking puppet.
I don't think Muppet-based AI is quite enough to push it over the edge. But I'm definitely leaning towards the Rotor. It was an incredible disappointment.
Oh my gosh, it was a disappointment.
Yes.
For a good bad movie, it's much more on the bad side than good side.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of redeeming qualities to it.
No, there's not.
Which says a lot for Ryder.
So, Rotor. We don't
so.
even need to vote. There's no reason.
What would you say?
I would say Rotor.
What would you say?
I guess I'd say Rotor too.
Yeah.
Rotor.
We have a winner.
Thank God.
We have a winner.
Brings us to the next phase of this show.
Yes.
All right, so...
Picking a theme.
No, don't jump to themes yet.
Don't jump to themes yet.
That's true.
We have to give... Because there's an
award.
Yes.
You're
we have
right.
an award for this movie.
There is something that this movie that we've selected is the best of.
It's one of the worst good bad movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think calling it a good bad movie is a little bit too nice.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a good bad movie. How about that?
You can't put good first.
No.
You gotta put bad.
That's
good.
leading the witness,
bad
Your Honor. You can't put good first.
I think my award for this is it's kind of the best inept technobabble that I've heard in a long time.
Dr. Steele from Houston developed a super technology constructed combat chassis out of an alloy. An unknown alloy, simply given an obscure number.
What's your intent in some little-known alloy? Is there some good vibration to its molecular tonality you can utilize?
Exactly. Watch.
But this was bad. This was really
I
bad.
think it might be a Brain Matrix award or something like that.
Yeah.
It was nothing without your own brain matrix.
He's out there.
What? Oh my God.
Oh God, the brain matrix. It's modeled after your own lower brain functions, without the higher functions to control them.
It's all the brain matrix.
Yeah. Worst use of mouth.
That's what that was the joke I was trying to make. That he's like a ventriloquist who's using his own mouth as his dome.
Gotcha.
A brain without a heart, a conscious without recognition.
How does he move his face like that?
Remember what I said at Rotor's christening? First prototype of a future battalion on the battlefield highways of the future.
Best one-man ventriloquist ever.
He was so bad at ventriloquism they had to do a voiceover.
One-man ventriloquism is awesome because he's...
One man,
no Muppet or puppet.
One man, no Muppet.
Watch him learn control of his own mouth. Got my favorite horse drinking coffee.
That's true.
That's true.
Hands down.
That's true.
Best caffeinated equine.
Yeah.
But no.
That's so nerdy.
Yeah, best caffeinated equine. The word goes to Rotor.
But it needed a callback for that.
It did. Like, I wanted the horse at the end so bad.
Yeah. Some really caffeinated horse at the end.
That might have been a delete.
The best
brain matrix metal alloy.
Best chair Moses? I don't know.
Best what?
Best chair Moses.
No idea what.
When he was walking through the chairs, he parted the sea of chairs.
I don't care. I'm going for chair Moses because I I didn't get it at first, and that's even better because now I'm.
Yep, there is no other movie that's going to have a chair Moses moment.
That is true.
All right. Rotor, the winner. It is by far the best chair Moses movie I've ever seen.
I would agree.
Oh, God.
Amen.
All right.
And amen.
Okay, so now we have to prepare for the next episode.
Yes.
And we don't know who that's going to be.
No.
But we have to do a theme. And so a little bit change up from last time, it was our first episode, is that you, since you won with your Rotor,
You pick two from the
Oh.
last group,
and
So I'll
then we
pick
write
two.
new ones.
Okay.
Whoever wins pulls, so we're always pulling from old themes. So any theme you ever put in, like there is a humor to like,
Sure,
oh,
sure.
I'm just gonna write.
Because
I should come up with a better one.
I mean, you know, one that's a little more inept would be nice.
Because I can write. Well, you know, fuck it. It could just be a black bar and you guys can never know what I said. That's fine. I could write that on there and then later it could come back into play. Oh my god. Because the guy who picked it. Right.
took my damn theme.
That's really bad. You should reconsider yourself as a human.
Yes. I will do that. I will do that. Oh my god.
All right. You get 2 cards. I get 2 cards. Bill gets 2 cards.
So the 2 I got, and I believe they're from the same person.
Oh.
And they're both on 8s. 8s are wild.
Oh, I know what they are.
And one of these would have worked for one of the picks today. But sequel and dubbed.
Alright, throw them down.
Broke down.
Sequel and dubbed. And I have knockoff and explosion.
Would have worked for today's too.
Alright,
Yeah.
I came up with force and revenge.
Oh, very good.
I came up with Earth and Cyborg.
I like it.
All right, this is a great pile.
So now I think there are 2 cyborgs in the mix.
Shuffle eyes.
So we're gonna shuffle this.
Truffle shuffle.
Gonna mix them up. Truffle shuffle.
Aim.
All right, I
It's a
have
very versatile word.
shuffled the cards.
All
The
right.
winner gets to randomly pick a theme for next episode. Nice.
Explosion.
All right.
All right.
That's our theme, folks. It
All
is
right, I like it.
explosion. Ah! Knock Rotor off the table. Stick.
Ta-da!
Thank you for watching the Good Bad Movie Showdown.
Goodbye!
How should we end this?
I don't.
I think we just did.
Sorry.
No.
That's a.
You're fine.
You have to rip off of that now.
You're fine. No, I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's no. It's gonna get cut out. 'Cause I can't make that work.
I've got poo in my head.
You want me to just do it all?
No, I can do it.
I'll just sit over here and drink.
All right.